Did you know that for many elderly people, the will to live fades away silently? They don't scream, they don't ask for help, they just give up. Want to understand why? It doesn't happen overnight. There's no alarm. No warning. First, he stops joining the table talk. Thinks it's better not to interrupt. Thinks he might be a bother. Then he stops telling old stories. Because he realizes no one's really listening anymore. The words begin to die before they even leave his mouth. He starts smiling less. Spends more time staring at the floor. And that spark in his eyes, the one that lit up when he talked about his youth, slowly fades. As if life itself is dimming, quietly, without a sound. But no one sees it. Because on the outside he's still there. Breathing, eating, getting up. But on the inside, silence is becoming abandonment. It's the beginning of giving up. Giving up on speaking. On trying. On existing. And it all starts so slowly that almost no one notices. Have you ever seen someone slowly fall silent until they disappeared inside their own home? If you have, type, "I saw it" in the comments. Your awareness might help wake up someone else too. You look at him and think, he's fine, still standing, still walking. But inside he's not. Because the body may keep moving. But the soul? The soul can be exhausted. Exhausted from not being heard. Exhausted from being forgotten. Exhausted from being treated like someone whose story is already over, just waiting for the end. And the cruelest part? This pain doesn't show up in scans. No high blood pressure, no fever, no visible wound. But it eats away inside, silently. With every birthday where the hugs feel more formal than heartfelt. With every morning when no one asks, "Did you sleep well?" With every night that passes, and no one notices if he was okay, if he ate, if he just needed someone to talk to. The soul gets tired. And when the soul gets tired, the body might still be there, yes, but only as a shell. The essence is already slipping away. Have you ever felt this silent exhaustion in someone close to you? Comment, "I see it now," if this made you remember someone who's alive, but no longer truly living. Few things are as devastating as feeling like you no longer matter. And that's what happens to many elderly people. They spend a lifetime caring, teaching, building, working. And then, suddenly, everything changes. The children grow up. Work ends. And decisions? They're no longer theirs to make. What's left? That cold, quiet feeling of being unnecessary. They try to help, but here. "Don't worry, Grandma, I've already done it." "Dad, you don't really get this stuff. You don't need to be concerned with that anymore." Each of these phrases, even if said kindly, leaves a mark. Little by little, it erodes the sense of worth they still hold on to. Where once there was pride, now uselessness begins to shout. And it shouts louder when no one responds. When no one invites. When no one asks, "What do you think? Can you teach me that? Would you help me with this?" Because what many elderly people want isn't an expensive gift. It's to feel included. To know they still matter. To still have a role. To be important. If you believe every elder still holds value, comment below, "You are important." Let's show them they're not forgotten. The loneliness of the elderly isn't always made of absolute silence. It can happen right in the middle of the family. It can be there at Sunday lunch, the table full but the heart empty. Because real loneliness isn't just being alone. It's being with people, and still feeling invisible. It's speaking, and no one listening. It's trying to smile, and no one noticing the effort. It's hoping someone will ask, "Are you okay?" And that question never comes. They're there, in the corner of the room, in the rocking chair, looking out the window. But who really sees them? The phone became more important than the eye contact. The routine more important than the hug. The rush more important than truly listening. And little by little they learn not to expect much anymore. They settle for less. They step back so they won't be in the way. But inside, the emptiness keeps growing. And the pain of not being noticed is just as cruel as the pain of being abandoned. Have you ever felt this kind of lonely presence near you? If this made you think of someone, comment, "I see you." It might be the exact phrase someone's heart needs to read today. Memories are often a refuge for those who grow old. A place where life is still full of color, laughter, and happy moments. But for many elderly people, memories begin to change. They stop being a comfort, and become a prison. Because what was once the past turns into a painful longing. Each memory is a door to what will never come back. Each photograph, a reminder of what's been lost. They get trapped between what they lived and what they no longer have. Between the youth that's gone and the loneliness of the present. And this silent prison can consume the will to carry on. Because when all that's left is the past, the present loses its meaning. Have you ever seen someone trapped in memories that hurt? If yes, write memories that hurt in the comments. Let's come together to understand and embrace this pain. Many believe that with age, the greatest suffering is physical pain, the creaking joints, the weakening health. And indeed, that is hard too. But what almost no one sees is the pain that doesn't show up in tests or medicines. Emotional pain. The kind that eats away inside, silently, invisibly. Is the pain of feeling forgotten. Of no longer being seen as someone important. Of realizing that days go by and no one truly cares. This pain doesn't have an easy remedy. It's not eased by ointments or pills. It builds up, devours hope, and dims the light that could still shine. And it's this pain that leads so many elderly people to give up on life. Because deep down, the absence of love and attention hurts more than any physical illness. Have you ever noticed someone suffering from this invisible pain? If yes, comment I care. It's a step toward bringing light where there is darkness. Contrary to what many think, depression in elderly people doesn't always come with explicit words or cries for help. Most of the time, it shows as a deep silence, a slow withdrawal. They don't scream, they don't protest. They simply stop fighting. They stop caring about their appearance. They stop eating well. They stop going out, smiling, talking. It's as if the will to live is slowly fading away little by little, until all that remains is a present body, but a soul that has already given up. And for those on the outside, this inner abandonment can go unnoticed, until it's too late. Do you know someone who changed like this without warning? Comment, I want to help, and let's learn together how to recognize the signs before silence becomes a goodbye. Sometimes it doesn't take grand gestures to make someone feel forgotten. It's enough that no one asks, "How are you really?" For many elderly people, that simple question has become an absence. Time passed and those around them stopped caring about how they truly feel, both physically and emotionally. And it's in that emptiness that loneliness grows, silent and fierce. Because when no one asks, the message is clear. You don't matter. And that's why, even when surrounded by family, many still feel invisible. Have you stopped to ask an elderly person this question today? If yes, comment I care, and help spread this message of care. Many people imagine that if an elderly person lives with their family, they are protected, loved, and cared for. But the truth is that physical presence doesn't always mean emotional presence. They may be in the same house at the dinner table, sharing the same space. But living side by side without connection is like being alone in a desert. Being near but not heard. Being together but not seen. Being present but not loved. This kind of abandonment is silent, invisible, yet deeply painful. The absence of affection, attention, conversation, genuine interest. It destroys what little hope remains. Do you know someone who seems surrounded but lives isolated inside? Comment, I see you, to remind them that no one needs to go through this alone. If we stop to think, so many things could have been different. Many of those painful silences could have been avoided. Not with grand gestures or radical changes, but with small daily acts. A listening ear, even when it seems there's nothing to say. A kind word, even when time is tight. A moment given, even when the routine presses on. Patience to understand that their pace is different. Presence to show that they still matter. Affection to rekindle the flame that loneliness extinguished. Because what heals isn't a lot. What heals is real. And that truth can be the key to helping them not give up on life. Have you ever done something small that changed someone's day? Share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to do the same. Often, the suffering of elderly people is hidden behind subtle gestures. That's why it's essential to be alert to the signs that something isn't right, before silence becomes an insurmountable wall. Watch out for behaviors like social withdrawal, avoiding conversations or family activities, loss of interest in things they once enjoyed, changes in appetite, irregular sleep, or neglect of personal hygiene, lack of desire to leave the room or interact with others, comments about feeling useless, tired, or hopeless. Recognizing these signs isn't just an act of care, it's a chance to save a life or at least bring back some meaning and love. Have you noticed any of these signs in someone close? Comment, I'm paying attention, and help spread awareness. Even in the darkest moments, there is a light that can be kindled. A spark that can reignite the will to live. That spark often comes from the simplest gesture. An unexpected phone call. A visit for no special reason. A sincere word that says, you matter. I'm here. When someone truly cares, even the most tired heart can start beating strongly again. Hope can be reborn. The will to live can return. Because no one should give up when there's still someone who cares. If you believe this, comment, I care, and be the change an elderly person needs today. Together we can turn silence into voices and loneliness into love. If this video touched your heart and made you reflect on how we can better care for the elderly around us, do one simple but powerful thing. Leave a like to help this message reach more people who need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more videos that talk about important life topics, with stories that make us think and act. Together we can turn silence into voice and loneliness into connection. Click, subscribe, and be part of this change. Thank you for being here and truly caring.